This is an updated league table of what actually happened in real life. As you can see, Watford were relegated.
And Spurs come fourth.
And today we are going to rebuild Watford from this point, starting off with obviously what would be this upcoming season in Football Manager with Watford down in the Championship.
Yeah.
Now the only downside I would say to this is that obviously attribute wise it's not going to be as realistic as when the new game comes out and Watford are in the Championship, because all their players are going to be like the Premier League standard.
Yeah.
They're still a very bad team though.
Yeah.
So for
some
Championship,
some of them
might
have
be
already
alright.
gone as well by then as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's now updated. It's updated to the most point that I possibly could, which was 2 days after they were relegated when I started this rebuild. So yes, it's time to build Watford, and this was a Patreon voted team.
Yeah.
It was either Norwich or Watford. I wanted to do one of the Premier League teams that have been relegated. We've already done Burnley recently, and you guys wanted Watford, which I was quite surprised with.
Yeah.
But I guess it's probably because they've done nothing.
No.
Ever in their history. They have never won anything, which did shock me considering, as you can see, the year that they were founded was 1881.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the transfer window this season then. Now, one of the names that you might recognise that we have brought in is Daniel Sturridge.
Yeah.
Not a bad signing considering we've dropped into the Championship. Very experienced player.
If you can keep him fit,
That's the
he's
main
a good
problem.
player.
Yeah, that's the main problem. He's lost all his
Definitely,
pace now, but still he's got the technical ability and the mental ability.
Yeah.
He's one of the Premier League's most deadliest strikers
Yeah.
at some point when he got 21 goals in 29 appearances in that year that Liverpool with him and Suarez up top. So that was our first signing, but we did sign another 2 signings with free transfers. Enrico Del Prato, a very good right back who can play centre back should we need him to, but he's not tall enough really. So the right back is where I mainly signed him for.
I think Italians are bred for being defenders.
Really good defensively. Yeah, absolutely. This Kuka deal was, I think, a deal that had already been done. 35 years of age, so I probably won't be using him that much. But the main signing that I made this season was Kieran Dewsbury Hall, a Leicester centre midfielder. I think he's starting to break into the first team now in real life. We've loaned him because he's a very good player, and for the Championship, he's going to be one of the best midfielders around. The loan is going to cost us £4.4 million throughout the year, but it's going to be worth it if you continues this thing of 1 goal, 1 assist, and a player of the match in just 4 games so far.
Good start.
From centre mid. Absolutely. He did play for Luton Town last year.
Ooh.
The rivals.
Rivals for Watford, yeah, Luton Town.
I'm going to be honest. I did not know they were rivals.
And I'm going to be honest too, I didn't know.
I don't think it's a fierce rivalry. I think,
No.
I mean, I joked around. It says fierce rivalry. Watford fans, do you consider that a fierce rivalry?
I think from what I've read about it, they've had a few, going back a few years ago, they've had a few real sort of bad games.
Right, okay.
As in players having a go at each other and all that. And it's just sort of kicked off from there, really.
Yeah, I suppose
And
when
then
they were
just
both
kept-
in the Championship, they played against each other a lot because obviously Luton haven't really been in the Prem for a while.
They have spent a few years apart as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Watford are up and down team, aren't they? So.
Oh yeah, their biggest rival at the minute is relegation.
Yeah.
So not bad.
They'll probably be there or thereabouts next season to try and get back.
I mean, they
into the
almost
playoffs.
swapped because Luton made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So fair play to them on the budget that they had.
Yeah.
But this is not about Luton.
No.
This is about Watford. As you can see, I matched my hair to match the kit of Watford, the yellow mohawk. Okay, so we've got a fairly decent team. And like I mentioned before, it is basically not going to be the exact same team that Watford are going to start off with next season because I don't know if you know, I can't predict the future.
No.
But we're going to do our best that we can from the Championship with the team that we have. Obviously, there's some big standouts. Ismaili Sarr being one of them, whether he will stay or not, that's left to be desired. And they've got a couple of really good youngsters. Chucho Hernandez is a really good striker on this game, but my favourite is João Pedro.
Yeah.
One of my most viewed ever videos is João Pedro.
Was it?
When I did a Wonder Kid spotlight on him last
Yeah.
year. He's not as good as what he was last year, but he's still a fantastic player. So tactically then, now we're in the Championship, we need to be a little bit more attacking. I've gone for a 4-2-2.
Yeah.
Being very aggressive and using the players that I know can play really well. João Pedro up top, Dewsbury Hall in the box-to-box midfielder, Del Prato on that wing-back. That right-hand side should be solid for us because more than likely it will be Ismaili Sarr or it will be Emmanuel Dennis, who is quite good there too. So, yeah, I think we should be okay this first season.
It's going to be an hard season. The Championship is not an easy league. People
Not
think
at all.
it's an easy league, and I've watched quite a lot of games over the years in it. It's a very, very tough league to get out of. You've got to be a really good team.
Yeah, you've got to work hard.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the best team, the team that goes up isn't exactly the most technical.
No.
But it's the team that works hard and works the best as a team.
And when you look at Fulham this season, what a team they were.
Unbelievable.
Look at the boy who scored all the goals.
Mitrovic broke the record.
couldn't do it in the Premier League the season before under a certain manager.
Yeah.
And then comes into a new manager. They more confidence in him, and look what he does. He repays him by scoring that many goals. There we are. We're promoted.
Outstanding.
Outstanding season by Fulham, yeah.
But look at the start of our season.
Whoa. Get in.
Wow. So we've played so many games because, of course, this is 2022 now. We have a Qatar World Cup. So in the Championship, we played 11 games?
First game of the season, 5-0 at home.
5-0 at home against Hull. 3-0 against Millwall.
When did we concede a goal?
We didn't concede until we played Cardiff there, which was our 5th game.
5th game, yeah.
So we even defeated Norwich, who come down with us, 2-0. 3-0 against Blackburn.
That's a result at Blackburn as well.
Yep, 4-0 against Preston, 4-1 against Forest, 2-1 against QPR, 3-0 against Swansea. Again, another tricky game.
Yeah.
This is why I mentioned we might be slightly overpowered in the Championship because we're basically playing with a Premier League club.
Yeah.
But it just adds to it, doesn't it? It adds to it. So, okay, I mean, yeah, we're top by 6 points already. I'd be a bit disappointed now if we drop even into the playoffs, to be honest.
I'm going to be disappointed if we don't win the league.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with the team that we have, let's simulate the first year. And this first season, I think we broke the record for the points there. 115 points in the Championship. That's got to be the record. Yeah. Swansea and Middlesbrough find it out for the playoffs. Norwich come up with us on 99 points. That's still a good tally. But we even lost 3 games at the end of the season, probably because we just won the league by then.
Yeah. For how many points we would have had then?
Yeah, we scored 130 goals and only conceded 40. So not bad at all. Did very, very well. And statistically, we probably had the most goals. Yeah, most shots. Yeah, we look very good, to be fair.
Elton John obviously bought the club.
Yep.
In 1977, I think it was.
Yep.
And the following year, he hired Graham Taylor.
Yeah. Who was a bit of a nobody at the time, I would say.
Definitely, yeah. And they were in Division 4, so it was the lowest league of
our League 2 right now.
And they actually won the league by winning the most games, losing the least amount of games, scoring the most goals, and conceding the least amount of goals as well.
Total domination.
And then he went through the leagues then, and up right to the Premier Division 1 at the time.
Yeah.
But highest league, and then came second.
Wow. What, in the first year in Division 1?
Well,
eventually.
Eventually getting up through the 80s.
Yeah.
Because Watford were the best team that they've ever had was in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's when they achieved most under Graham Taylor.
Yeah.
So he took over in 1978 or 79 season, and then through the 80s, he got himself up into the highest league, Division 1 at the time, and come runners up in the league. So the following year, they played in the UEFA Cup. I'm not sure how they got on in that sort of thing, because I only remember that following year when they got to the FA Cup final by beating
Plymouth Argyle
in the semi-final. Hence why I do not like Watford.
Yeah.
Or Graham Taylor.
Yeah.
But that was their best times in the 80s. That's when Watford were a really good side under Graham Taylor, though. They were good as well. Yeah. So Luther Blissett is obviously their
Blissett.
He's their mainstay. Yeah. So and they obviously had John Barnes at the time as well in the 80s.
They did, before he moved on to Liverpool.
Yeah.
So Vicarage Road, not bad stadium. I quite like it, to be fair. Right.
Nice tight stadium, isn't it?
Yeah. Other competitions then. We're still in the FA Cup and the League Cup. Did we manage to do anything?
We've got a good team.
Yeah. Why not? No. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup by West Ham. 4th round by Newcastle, who obviously have all the money in the Carabao Cup. So, it's still a decent
I'll take that. We've won the league. We're back into the Premiership.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Goals. João Pedro only scored 24, considering the amount of goals that we scored, but look how many he scored in double figures. It's ridiculous. That's a centre-back, Cabaselli. Yeah. He got 14 as well. Not bad. We spread out the goals quite well. I just seen João Pedro is devastated. I think he wants a new contract. That's fine. As long as he doesn't want to leave, because we need to keep hold of him and make the most out of him. Okay, on to the second season then. Back in the Premier League. Now, the first sign that we brought in was Chris Metham. I never know how to say his name. I've seen so many creators buy him and nobody knows. Nobody knows. So we're calling him Chris. A Welsh centre-back from Bournemouth. We picked him up for £13 million. He's one of their best players. So I actually think because Bournemouth might have got relegated that we've gone up. We've just stole their defender. Let's hope he does better for us than he does for them. But still, really good centre-back, to be fair. 25 years of age, so he's in his prime. Good attributes. But we did sign a new goalkeeper because Ben Foster was our number 1 last year. He's now retired.
Yeah.
Or he's going to retire and he's nowhere near as good. Rajkovic, a Football Manager legend, because this guy was amazing when he was like 19. But we have signed him from the French league, Reims. £7.75 million. It's a good signing. I think he will do quite well in the Premier League because he's a big, tall, strong Serbian goalkeeper. Now, I did sign Luka Ivanusek, a very good Croatian Winger. Quite pacey, and he has very good balance, meaning he's quite tricky on the ball, but that's kind of all that he's really good at, to be honest. He doesn't have the best attributes elsewhere, but a guy who can run with the ball and take it further up the pitch, I think, is quite crucial when you're quite a defensively minded team, or we're not going to have the ball quite a lot in the Premier League.
No.
So let's take a look, because I did sign more players. Speaking of playing on the ball, I signed this guy from Switzerland, 21 years of age, Fabian Rieder. I think he's quality, like really, really good. And I've seen quite a few other clubs looking for him, and he chose us, which I was quite surprised with. He's now worth 30 to 38 million pounds, but we only spent 10 million on him. From Young Boys last season, he got 13 assists in the league.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Swiss League is nowhere near as good as the Championship or the Premier League, but still, that's quite a big amount for 29 games. So that is a good sign in my opinion. We went to Brazil next, and we pinched 2 players from Brazil. Thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
Christian. He plays in centre mid, but he can also play at right back. He's very well rounded as well. He's one of these players who are just good at everything.
Yeah, good squad player then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So our coach is ranking quite highly, and he only cost us 6 million. It's cheap as chips, really.
Yeah.
He's played 2 games, got 2 assists, and a very good average rating in the Premier League. He's hit the floor
good,
running, yeah. And the final one is Gabriel Sarawi. We signed him on the deadline day. 24 years of age. This is going to be more of an attack-minded centre midfielder or centre attacking midfielder that we have brought in from Sao Paulo. £9.5 million. He scored 8 goals last year for Sao Paulo. And 2 the year before. So he is capable of getting on the score sheet. Just didn't have many assists. We did sell £18 million worth. Pussetto was one of them, and Gakia being another, and Quadro Bar leaving the club as well. But I'm not too worried about that. That's not first team players in my opinion. If we look tactically, we need to change that, because the 4-2-2 obviously was a little bit too attacking.
Yeah.
So instead, I've dropped a centre midfielder. Well, I've dropped into a centre midfielder from the striker role. Gabriel Serrat now goes in the centre midfield on attack. I've got 2 Carrileros, which is a role I've never used before, but they tend to defend quite wide, and I think doing that gives the wingers the option to bomb forward and gives us a little bit of strength in that centre midfield, playing 3 in there instead of having 2 and getting dominated by the very quality centre midfielders that the Premier League has. With Chucho Hernandez playing up front by himself, João Pedro on the left there. Okay, how have we done? Well, we're actually top of the Premier League right now. We are first in the Premier League.
Finished.
Let's end it there. We're done. Thank you for rebuilding Watford. Brighton, we beat them 4-2 on the first opening day. Great result, in my opinion, because we actually played at Brighton Stadium. But this one was even better. Chucho Hernandez with 2, João Pedro with 2. A 4-0 victory against Brentford.
Yeah, good result.
Very good result indeed. And Bournemouth, we beat them 3-1 in the EFL second round of the Cup. We've got Norwich next as well, and then that's when we start playing the big boys, and we start falling down the league. So if we beat Norwich, we'll be top of the league after 3 games. We'd look absolutely amazing, because right now, the only other 2 teams is Aston Villa and Tottenham, but we've got a far superior goal difference. So 3 games in, we might be still top. Who knows? But okay, let's simulate this second season. And the second season, we survived. 13th place.
I'll take that. Lucky number.
Yeah, it is. A 0 goal difference too, which is quite good considering pretty much the clubs above us, including Man United, was on a minus. -5 for Man United, finishing in 8th. Jesus.
Predictable of the top 2 teams as well, really, I think.
Had to be, but 10 points in between them though, which is quite shocking. So yeah, I mean, that's good from us, isn't it? We survived by quite a lot as well. We had 45 points. That's 11 points above Fulham, Norwich and Middlesbrough going down. So there's 2 promoted clubs plus Fulham who come up the year before, all going down. So teams that you would expect, but it's not us, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, we survived.
Other competitions then. FA Cup, EFL Cup, never been won by Watford. All they've ever done is win lower leagues, which we know, obviously, was Taylor, his time there. Well, 4th round by Brighton, 4th round by Palace. 2 teams I would hoped we would have defeated.
Oh well.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
It is disappointing. Goals-wise then, 16 goals by Chucho Hernandez. That's poor considering we tried to play him every single game.
Yeah.
Ismaili Sarr got 15 and he played a lot less. And a lot from the bench too. We've also got Musa Sissoko from box-to-box midfielder, or the Carrilero role, getting 10 goals, and Ivan Yuset getting 12 assists, which is quite good. Nowhere near what I was hoping, and even João Pedro's dropped off massively there, down to 9 goals and 5 assists.
Really good thing has come out of it, really. We've stopped the yo-yo.
That's it, yeah. That's the main problem for clubs like Watford, West Brom, Fulham, Norwich. Like, you know, how many times you go, they're too good for the Championship, but they're too bad for the Premier League. They need to stop that. We just see them go up
and go down, up and down all the time, innit?
Which I think clubs like Brighton and Wolves, really, You've got to hand it to them.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They were one of those clubs that when they come up were predicted to go straight back down, and no, they stopped it.
And I think Brentford was... What a successful season.
It's only one season.
I know, yeah, but...
Everybody always says second season
syndrome.
syndrome.
What a good season it was.
Great season, yeah. You know? And they've got... If they manage to keep hold of the players, like if they manage to sign Ericsson for another year, I think they'll be safe. I'd like to think that manager seems very good.
Yeah.
And their chairman is very clever. They got the whole Moneyball situation where they're signing players not by name, but by statistics.
Yeah.
And they've got that link with Midtjylland in Denmark because he also owns them. And they get a lot of Danish players who are very good.
Sometimes it's what you know, not what you know, isn't it?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So they're running the club right. A club that hasn't been run right, I think, is actually Watford. I mean, how many managers have they had in the last 5 years? Maybe even 10? I mean, this year they have 3.
I would say this season was quite bad, wasn't it?
Roy Hodgson, Capello, and whoever they started with. I can't even remember who it was. Not Capello, whatever he was called, Ranieri.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go down the list of managers in the past, it's just been mental.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3 every single season. It just seems like as soon as you lose 3 games in a row, you're sacked.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's something that needs to be changed.
100%. I mean, we were surprised with Burnley sacking
Dyche
this season, weren't we? Because they seemed to stuck with him, didn't they? Didn't matter what they'd done, if they went down and back up again, they stuck with him, and he deserved all the credit for that team being as good as they were in the Premier League when they got into the Premier League.
Yeah.
Or if they went down, they still went down with a fight and all that. And it was a shame this season they did go down, and that's what happens when you stick with the manager.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't attract players to be good enough to keep you in that league. It is such a good league, and you need a little bit. Well, you need a lot of luck to stay in that league. I think the smaller teams, Watford, over the years, they don't get that luck. So what they do, they sack their managers.
Yeah,
it doesn't work all the time, does it?
No, works very rarely.
Yeah,
to be honest. So okay, that's the second season over and done with. Before we head over to third season, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Now, I get quite a lot of compliments from other YouTubers about the thumbnails that I create for my videos. And that is all thanks to today's sponsor, Skillshare. You see, if you want to start creating content yourself, Skillshare is the best online learning community with thousands of classes and all aspects of creation and more that you should start using. Some of these fantastic classes, including the YouTube Success from Marquez Brownlee, helps you learn from one of the best on the platform. From all the way from writing the script at the beginning of the video to post-production before you put the video out. And all of this you can actually get for free if you use my link at the top of the description, which will give you 1 month free trial to use Skillshare. You see, Skillshare has no ads, so you won't be distracted, and new classes are constantly being added so you can continue to improve or learn something new. And it's a fantastic offer that so many of you have already taken up. So thank you very much for that, because in doing so, you actually help support me as a content creator as well. So once again, if you'd like to sign up to Skillshare and take advantage of this fantastic offer, if you use my link at the top of the description, you get 1 month free trial to use unlimited amount of classes, as much as you can soak up within that month, including, of course, the classes that I have mentioned. Develop your skills and become a better creator. So give it a go through Skillshare today, and thank you very much for sponsoring today's video. Right, the third season, I think this is the best transfer window that we have had so far. I think this transfer window is phenomenal. We lost £11 million worth of players. £10 million was Emmanuel Dennis.
Right.
Big signing.
Yeah.
Jermaine Lucero come through our youth academy, and he wouldn't sign a new deal and ended up just going to Everton. But look how good he is. 16 years of age. He is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We could have put him in the first team this season, probably up front, and he would have done really well. So we don't have him, unfortunately. But what we have brought in, I think, is quality. Starting off with Gedson Fernandes. I think this is a former Spurs player. It was. He played for Spurs for 2 years. A very good centre midfielder who can also play at right back. We're playing him for centre midfield because I think he's got great qualities in and around that centre midfield going forward and defensively, and I like that. Plus, stamina, natural fitness of 18. He bombs up and down the pitch and he doesn't get tired, and that's the best bit about him. Good player traits as well. So that's a very good signing. And we only paid £13.75 million. He got 10 assists last year at Besiktas.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. Can't complain. These two, though, these two are insane. We got Yusuf Demir. Obviously, he's been playing at Barcelona. Barcelona have an obligation, if they want to sign Yusuf Demir on a permanent. He's only on loan. They didn't take it up. Actually, on this, it doesn't even show that he was there. £12.75 million from Rapid Vienna. He's got amazing potential ability on this game. He is the replacement of Ismaili Sarr because in the future he'll be better than Ismaili Sarr. That's why I'm thinking they're one of the best potentials on the game. But this guy, Umar Saleh, a natural centre-back who can also play in the DM role. I've signed this guy quite a few times because I just know he is phenomenal. Plays a very pacey centre-back who can also play on the ball. 15 for passing, good enough for vision. This isn't one of the best versions I've seen of him, but he's still good.
You need your centre-backs to be able to play on the ball as well. Don't you?
God, yeah. I mean,
they're going to get the time to be allowed to do that.
Yeah, look at Man United where they've been bad from the back.
Yeah.
And the amount of times it costs us and puts us under pressure. We only paid £10.75 million from Salzburg. Again, I think that's a really good deal to bring in. So that's three really good signings. Tactically, we're going to go with the very similar to what we had, but I've changed the wingers to inverted wingers, and I've changed the defenders to ball-playing defenders instead. Trying to give a little bit more help to the striker.
Yeah.
I think that might have been the problem there. We were playing with wingers, so they were a bit too far out, and we were just very isolated in the middle, whereas obviously the season before when we were playing with wingers is because we had two strikers.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main change there, and I want to see how that plays out. Now, in the schedule-wise, it hasn't started off the best, I'll admit. A 0-0 draw to Southampton, even against 10 men. Omar Richards was sent off. We tried going for him. He accepted the deal and then rejected us and went to Southampton.
And then he got sent off against
us. Arsenal, we lost against them 4-2. João Pedro did get a brace though. We did beat Bristol City in the first round of the EFL Cup, but then we faced Manchester United at home, who beat us 6-1.
4-1.
4-1, sorry, 6-1. It's because I looked at Pedro's score in the 66th minute. So yeah, not a great start.
And then we got Liverpool.
So it's a difficult start, really, isn't it? But I think once we start playing the teams in and around the relegation zone, we'll start pricking up points, getting a bit more confident, and we'll see how we do from that. Let's simulate the season. So, the end of the third season, we see us in 9th place.
Definitely happy with that.
Top half.
Yeah.
Top half, gotta be happy with that. Same points as well as Leicester in 8th place, so we've done really well there to survive. The club's going down: Stoke, Crystal Palace and Brentford. Mentioned it, Brentford, only on 26 points. Chucho Hernandez got the most goals this season with 20, but Gedson Fernandes got 7.21 average rating, which I think is really high, to be fair, for a club in the mid-table. Tottenham defeated Man United there, went above Man United in that last game of the season, look.
I can't say too much because me and Arsenal have finished above Tottenham both seasons so far.
So, other competitions then. Semi-final by Leeds in the FA Cup.
Dirty Leeds knocking us out.
Yeah, who lost to Liverpool. We probably wouldn't have won the final, but it would have just been nice to have got there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely,
and knocked out in the 4th round by Oxford in the Carabao Cup.
That's poor, isn't it?
That's really poor. Did they get to the final? I bet they didn't. No, they didn't. Liverpool won it, so frustrating. Very frustrating. If we look statistically, Chucho Hernandez did score 20, but João Pedro also got 18. He's chipping back in with the goals now, which is not bad. Gedson Fernandes got 11 goals and 10 assists, so there's no wonder why he was our best performing player this season. I do think Omar Saleh, I don't think he's been playing at centre-back. I think possibly they've been playing him in centre-mid. Could have been no, they have actually been playing as a ball-playing defender. I thought it was just because he scored so many goals, probably from corners and stuff, that he's been playing there.
It's still not bad, though. There's 5 players there in double figures.
Yeah, you can't complain.
That's not bad for the mid-table team.
Yeah. Ismaili Sarr, and then of course Moussa Sissoko also chipping in with quite a lot of goals. Yusuf Demir didn't get that many, considering he played 31 games, but he's more of one for the future, really. Okay, I mean, season 4, how much money have we been given for season 4? £106 million.
Well, they're backing us then.
They're backing us. We've got a few players leaving.
We've given 2 seasons in the Premier League, so they're going to back us.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay. Let's see who we bring in. Now, the big transfer on the out was Ismaili Sarr. He left and went to Bournemouth. And I was alright to let him go, although he is a quality player for us. They offered us £38 million.
Can I turn that money down?
No, which is the reason why we actually had over £100 million in the transfer budget. It gave us about 70, then we sold Ismaili Sarr. And yeah, he's still playing the Premier League, but I think Bournemouth have just come up, so that's their big marquee signing.
Yeah.
I think we've replaced him quite well, though. Let's take a look. Brendan Anderson from Salzburg. We dip back into the Salzburg pot of talent. We bring in this young American who can play anywhere along the midfield, but when I've watched this player live, when they played against Bayern Munich. He was one of the best players on the pitch.
He'll be playing against England soon, won't he?
He will, yeah. He will. Yeah. As an American international, 31 caps he's got on this. But yeah, he's a quality player going forward. Really good passer of the ball. He's quick as well. He gets forward as much as possible. He's very attack-minded. That's what I like about him. So I spent £13 million on him.
Started well as well.
Has started well. Got a goal in 2 games. Yeah. Not bad. Didn't have the best returns last year, but he had good average ratings.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to look into. Maybe he got himself injured or something, which is the reason why he didn't play as many games. £23 million was spent on a new left-back, Miguel Gutierrez from Real Sociedad. But this is definitely one of the best left-backs that we could have possibly have got. Believe me, I tried going for a lot of left-backs. Knowing that that was a weakness, I think he was like my 4th choice in the end. The amount of times in this rebuild, whether it's this year, next year, or the following year, or the year that we've just had previously, that I tried signing a player, had a bid accepted, offer them a contract, but when I do, about another 7 or 8 clubs from the Premier League come in for him and he goes to somebody else. Happens so many times.
You're being a watch person, aren't they? So they know that you do good signings, so whatever you go for, they think he must be good.
Yeah. That's it. It comes up saying they're wanted and then they wait for me to make the first move. Yeah. It's so frustrating. It's something that happened quite often on Football Manager recently and it's quite annoying. But they're not the only signings though. If we flick over to the following year, we spent another £63 million. We got Taylor Harwood-Bellis on a free transfer from Manchester City, who I actually think could be a starting centre-back for us.
He's not bad, actually, is he?
I really do think he could be. The talks are that he's actually quite good in real life, whether we'll see him go on loan this summer, because I don't think he's ready to break into that Manchester City centre-back at the minute.
No.
But I think in the future, we could see him play for Manchester City. Maybe on loan this year would be great. But yeah, like you said, he's got good attributes, especially for his age, 23, and the fact that he hasn't really played a lot of games in the Premier League. He's been playing in the Championship. 2 seasons there, Sheffield United and QPR, and we got him on a free. Yeah. So we can't complain too much, to be honest.
Good squad player again.
Absolutely. But the money, £63 million.
This is the one then, is it?
This is the one. I put all of my eggs in the Yamin Ghouri basket.
Striker, we need him.
He's a striker who can also play on the left should we need him, but he is the best attribute striker that we could have possibly have gone for. That 15 for finishing, but the 17 dribbling. He's pacey. Not to mention his off the ball is 17.
That's brilliant.
So he's really good. Straight away, I am training him. Likes to beat the offside trap. Because with that off the ball, a decent amount of pace, the work rates, he's going to be in there quite a lot. If he can read the game well. If his anticipation was slightly higher, you'd be looking at one of the best strikers in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Because if you can break the offside trap and you've got good amount of finishing like that, it's kind of unstoppable in the game. But we're paying him a big wage, 130k, but he is now worth over £100 million since he signed for us. And he's a French international.
Yeah.
Can't ignore that.
No, definitely not.
He scored 11 goals and got 11 assists last season.
When you think of it, at the moment, the French international strikers they've got around at the moment, and he's breaking into the team.
Yeah.
He can't be that bad again.
No, not at all. 11 goals and assists last season too, and a 7.41 average rating in the French league. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Tactically then, we're going to change up. We're going to go for a diamond formation. I've had very successful diamonds recently in rebuilds, and I think the last formation that we had, now that we lost Ismaili Sarr, we're brought in players who are a lot more attack-minded through the middle. And I think that we need to kind of focus on that. Yusuf Demir, for instance, can play in centre midfield or behind the striker. We've got a pressing forward there who is going to be the likes of Yamin Ghouri. And of course, the advanced forward, João Pedro, somebody like that can play up there really well. So I think this is the way that we're going to go now. And yeah, I think it's probably the better option for us rather than playing on the wings because I could not for the life of me find a winger.
No.
They just didn't want to come to me. So schedule wise then, we haven't started very well again. We lost 1-0 to Harry King Spurs.
We were doing the friendlies really well. Look, banging in the goals, and then all of a sudden, bang, we lose against Spurs.
Yeah, we did draw the Wolves, but there was a 95th minute equaliser from Callum Wilson, so that's annoying. Brentford then knocked us out the cup. I know, weird, isn't it? I guess Newcastle probably signed some world-class players, so he's just left. But then we lost to Liverpool 4-1.
Yeah.
So tricky. Or 6-1 if you got my eyesight. João Pedro did score in that game though. But I like to think that the next couple of months there are a lot of winnable games in there.
Back into it again then.
Yeah, to get back into it. I'm looking at the Bournemouth game, even though obviously we've been knocked out by teams like Brentford, who've been relegated. We can still beat the likes of Bournemouth, Leeds, Middlesbrough, West Ham. It's just those other tricky games.
Yeah.
So, okay. Right now, we are in relegation zone. But we've got to get ourselves out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting relegated
No.
in a...
We don't want this, no.
It's only ever happened once in the Ipswich rebuild, and we know that's because they never backed me. I've never been relegated, other than that.
Especially seeing the board have backed you with this as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been sacked. All right, I admit it. I've been sacked, but I've never been relegated
Who
other than
sacked
that.
you again? I can't remember that. Who was
No,
that again?
let's move on. Let's simulate this season. Right, well, we definitely turned that around. We've got
yes.
European football next year.
Hey.
64 points. We finished above Manchester United, who sacked me. Tottenham finishing second.
Get in.
Yeah, I thought you'd be happy with that.
Yes.
That's a great season for us as well. And we dropped off quite a lot at the end, considering we had some tricky games. If we did win all of those games, I think we would have roughly been on the same points or just behind Chelsea. In Champions League, maybe finished above Arsenal.
Look at Villa. Obviously, Villa must have won something.
Villa's won the EC2 or maybe the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. Wolves getting relegated.
Yeah.
That's a big club to go down in Football Manager. They've got a very good team.
Yeah.
Because usually they either sell their players and reinvest quite well, or they stick out with a very good team that they've got.
I reckon Portugal not doing very well neither. Then
That's probably it. If you haven't checked out the Portugal Wolves rebuild we did, it's one of my favourites we've ever done.
Yeah.
It's done really well for views. So I'll be surprised if you haven't. But if you're watching this one and you haven't seen that one, make sure you go watch that one. It's a good laugh, that one. Only signing Portuguese players. Right, okay, other competitions then. We got to the 4th round and we're knocked out of the FA Cup by Liverpool, and of course we never reached the Carabao Cup.
No.
3rd round. We got European football next year.
to me, that's a win.
Yes.
A definite win. We've qualified high enough to get into European football again.
Yeah, I mean, top half is good.
Yeah.
But if you think the money that Newcastle is splashing...
Well, you've got Man United, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Even Everton, really, because Everton are... You know, they didn't do well this season, but there's going to be money for Everton, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Man United's got Allegri as their manager right now at the minute, which is quite surprising. And Newcastle have Sergio Conceição, the Porto manager, but they've got an unbelievable team. Denzel Dumfries, Coop Miners are there. Really good squad. And we finish above them.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to the next few seasons with Newcastle to see what they do there.
Oh, God,
really
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Man City with Erling Haaland playing for them next season, but the Newcastle one's the one I'm really looking forward to see where the money's going to go. I mean, the manager they got there at the moment...
He's really good, isn't he?
He's a good manager, but he won't take him to that top level, I don't think.
No,
but
he's a stepping manager.
He'll get him there.
Yeah.
Thereabouts. And then the clever one will come in then.
Probably Conte. He was still manager at Tottenham Hotspur in this save.
Yeah.
But for how long? I mean, he's done really well in this, but yeah. Is it going to be Klopp, a Man City manager? Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
And,
Erling Haaland's there. But this is the updated database, so he was there. And Pep Guardiola was at
Oh,
Liverpool.
of course
So
he is,
what a shock. Who seen that coming? Arteta still there? No, it's Xavi.
Hey, from Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona one. He's there. And the Chelsea manager, because we might as well round it off, Roger Smith, which is, I think he was manager, of Benfica. Oh no, of PSV.
Yeah.
So he's there at the minute, doing quite well. He used to be the Bayer Leverkusen Salzburg manager, so he's been around a bit, Roger Smith. Okay, so goals-wise then, 29 goals from João Pedro. Amin Gori scored 20 and got 13 assists, so I dare say Gori's been probably playing from the left-hand side. No, he's been playing at front. Oh no, we don't have a left-hand side. He's been playing as that advanced forward up front with João Pedro. João Pedro's just scored more.
That's still good. That's 49 goals from 2 strikers.
He's become the provider, because Amin Gori is very good at providing the goals. He's got a good passing ability with great vision. So 13 assists is not bad. Yusuf Demir looks like he's been playing the shadow striker role, getting 13 goals and 11 assists. But all around, I think the amount of greens that we can see here and the average rating is very appealing.
Who was the leading goal scorer of the league then?
Probably João Pedro then. Let's take a look, because he scored 27 in the league.
Because that's not far off being the leading goal scorer of the league, isn't it?
Nope. There's Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
So there's a video that it might have already come out, because I'm planning on doing it, but I want to break Dixie Dean's record with Erling Haaland at Man City. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Dixie Dean's record 60 goals in a league campaign. I think there was more games at that point as well. But it's a very tricky thing to
Nothing against the football back in the day then, but I do think it is harder now.
Yes.
There are more athletes now.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, not just the strikers, but all of the players on the pitch and more athletes now, in it.
Yeah.
Going back in the day and all that, you know,
some fat defenders.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
and the pitches they played on as well.
Yeah.
Back in the day were awful compared to what they are now. So
you've never even seen any grass, did you? After about 5 games.
Brilliant. I used to love playing in the mud, just to slide a tackle about 20 yards.
Yeah.
Away.
But yeah, if you haven't, if I've released that video, check out the channel, because I might have done it by now. But that's a video that I really want to do. I want to try try and break Dixie Dean's record. Not with João Pedro, but with Erling. Right, okay, we got one final season here in this Watford rebuild. We're in Europe. What are your expectations? I'm curious.
What are we in, the
EC2
semi-final at least?
Semi-final of that?
Yeah, got to be. I think we've got, if we're that good to be fifth or sixth in the Premier League, we're good enough to get to a semi-final, I think.
Yeah, we've got £52 million. It's not a lot of money because the wage budget's not that good either.
The only other thing I would like to do, really, is get to an FA Cup final and try and win it.
Yeah, I mean, never won anything. No. So,
I mean, they have got the worst record for the FA Cup final in 2019 when they lost. They've only been to 2 FA Cup finals. They lost Everton 2-0 and they lost to Man City 6-0 in 2017 or 2019, which equaled the worst record, which was done by Bury, who beat Derby County 6-0 in 1903, was it? Yeah.
That was so long ago that club doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
And Derby might not exist much longer.
No, that's looking really dodgy.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, really, but we hope they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good history with Derby as well.
And I hope Wayne Rooney stays there and does a fantastic job next year, gets them back up.
So I want someone to happen in the FA Cup as well.
Right, okay. If not, then it's down to you Patreon members.
Yeah.
Because if I can't do it, you guys have got it.
Well, that could be my challenge already, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, okay. Let's go forward to the 5th season. One player on the outs. That is Cucho Hernandez, the Colombian striker. He didn't play that many games last year, but he's kind of better from the left or the right, which obviously we're no longer playing. So we sold him to Tigres for £16 million.
Can't blame him for going, really.
No. We only actually signed him for 200k back in 2017-18. So that's not bad at all. He didn't play many games, only played 7 games from the bench last year. So getting 16 million is not bad at all. So thank you very much for your service. Obviously got us back up from the Championship with his goals. But yeah, good luck for the rest of your career. However, I think in that diamond formation, we are missing one big defensive midfielder who is good on the ball, and this is the guy. Daniel Braganca. Now, great first touch, but the passing of 16, the vision of 17, defensively positioning of 15.
Good.
But then the composure on the ball, anticipation and decision making. Not to mention, he's really good on the ball where he's like his balance and agility. Everything that I like in a deep line playmaker, this guy has. So he comes into the club and we spent £36 million on him. He did go 2 years ago to Bordeaux for 6.2 after making a massive move to Real Madrid where he only played 3 league games. We've already matched that in the first 3 league games this season. So he's played the same amount. But he's kind of rejuvenated his career at Bordeaux, did very well, even got 3 goals and 4 assists and 4 goals and 8 assists in the first season. He's back. Now we need to see him do it in the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's our main big signing, or only signing, this summer. So tactically then, I think we've got to stick with this diamond. The only thing I've changed is the deep midfielder. There was a defensive midfielder. I've changed it to a deep line playmaker on support for Daniel Braganca. If you take a look, he is one of the best players there, and Umar Saleh comes in as well as an option should we don't have Daniel Braganca. Schedule-wise then, it's been a bit ups and down, but we have qualified through the EC2. We'll take a look at the group in a sec. We beat Stoke in the first game of the season with a 90th minute winner through João Pedro. Hearts 4-2 in both legs, that's good.
Yeah.
João Pedro getting a brace there and Yusuf Demir getting a hat-trick in the second leg. But we lost to Everton 2-1. And we lost to Chelsea 6-3. Imagine you're going to score 3 goals at Stamford Bridge today. You go, should get a result. Yeah. Nope, you lost by 3 goals. They've got Vinicius Jr. though from Real Madrid, so they've got a lot of money as well. Our group, it will be criminal if we don't go through this.
100%.
It would be criminal. And if we don't come top, then we should be fired.
Yeah.
But there we go. The final as well is being played at the Signal Iduna Park. If we can get there, that's Dortmund Stadium.
Yeah.
You'd love that.
100%.
I wouldn't even be sat in the box. I'd be up in the ground in the yellow wall.
Definitely, yeah. Rocking that wall, something bad.
Yeah, I'd be on the phone to the coach going, "Why aren't you coming down here, Blind? I'm soaking the atmosphere."
Yeah.
Okay, right. The final season then. We need to win something for Watford because I've never done it before, so let's simulate this final year. Our league form, we have finished in 11th place.
Ooh, we dropped
54
right down,
points. Yeah, we have come out of those European spots. Chelsea have actually won the league. 85 points. Tottenham dropped down to 6th as well from 2nd.
I'm still going to class that as a win-win situation because we've stayed in the league still.
Yeah.
All right, we've dropped down in the league, but we're still mid-table. We haven't been close to relegation, have we?
No.
So
João Pedro got 38 goals with a very good average rating. Let's take a look at the competitions. We are the winners of 2 competitions.
Get in!
The FA Cup.
Get in!
And the Conference League.
Win-win situation.
Win-win. We have qualified for the Europa League despite finishing in 11th place. The FA Cup final, we defeated Everton 4-0. If only it was 2 more. We could have held the record for the best and worst result ever in an FA Cup final. So that would have been our first ever trophy, the Watford one. I think that would have come before the UEFA Conference League, I think. We'll take a look at the fixtures and have a look anyway.
I think that the FA's at the beginning of May, well, mid of May.
Yeah.
And the Europeans are
obviously
usually
it was last night, right at the end, yeah. But Fiorentina in the final, 3-0. Absolutely destroyed Fiorentina in the final.
We're a Premiership side.
Yeah, Ivan Yuset got 2 and João Pedro got 1. Which is quite funny, actually, that Ivan Yuset got 2. Because if we take a look at Ivan Yuset, I was declining bids at the start of the season because he played 0 games for us last year.
Yeah.
He played 19 this year, so he still did play a little bit more. But he was the hero winning Watford a European trophy. And João Pedro got the 72nd minute. 3 goals in 9 minutes.
That was 2 goals he scored all season.
Yeah, it literally was. So, what a result that is. Brilliant. What a result. So, let's take a look then. We'll take a look at the schedule in a sec to see what came first. But I'm curious as to the group stage. The Group D. We finished top, as we expected. We drew 1 game to AB, but we lost the other 3. We won the other 5, sorry. Don't know why we lost the other 3. We played 5 and we won them all. We did score at least 4 goals in all of those games as well, whether it was home or away. 16 points in total. How do we do in the first round knockout? So I don't think we would have played that because as people would drop out of the Europa and finish in second. We beat PAOK 6-2 on aggregate there, the Greek squad. Then we beat Valencia 6-2 on aggregate.
That is a hell of a result.
Yeah, Valencia, a very good team in this. Semi-final, PSV. Another very good result.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Going into the final, and obviously Fiorentina beat Trabzonspor.
So we had the hardest group to go through, yeah.
Yeah, very hard run.
So we deserved to win, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about the FA Cup then? We know that we defeated Everton in the final, but how did we do going forward? We defeated Blackburn 4-0. We then beat Wolves 1-0. Quarter-final time, we beat Stoke. We got an easy draw there. Facing Stoke. They are a Premier League club at this point.
All the big sides were knocking each other out then.
All the big sides are out, look. Yeah. Look at that. By the quarter-final, there are not one top 6 club.
Looking at that, you'd be looking at Newcastle
and Leicester.
And Everton and Leicester, really.
Yeah, really, as the big clubs there.
Yeah.
Semi-final, we knocked out Newcastle and all their money. Everton knocked out Southampton, of course. Then we beat Everton 4-0 in the final. Unbelievable. But the first trophy that we won was the FA Cup final. And then they're like buses, because 4 days later we won the Europa Conference League. What a journey.
Yeah.
What a journey. Right, if somebody was to get this after these 5 seasons, what would be their next task for the next 5 seasons? I've got in my head what I think you might say.
You've got to break into the top 5 of the league again, the Premier League, haven't you?
Yeah.
We've won the FA Cup. Get back into the Champions League. See if you can get into the Champions League.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's probably good. You got to aim for now, innit?
Break into the top 4. It's doable in 5 years, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think winning the league is, but I think getting into the Champions League is definitely doable because a lot of these players are still really young.
We've given you a good squad to play with.
If you take a look, like by age, I mean, it's a short squad. Like we don't have a lot of players, so the fact that we managed to do well in 2 cups does surprise me. But like our oldest players, we're not really using anyway.
No.
But the majority of the players, our first teamers, if you take a look, really is a goalkeeper 31. He's good for another 5 years.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
You might want to replace him after a couple, but still. Chris Metham, he played 35 games, 16 off the bench. He's 29. Yeah. You've still got a lot of years before these guys aren't going to be good enough, but a lot of them still have a big potential to get better and better, including the likes of João Pedro. If you take a look, he's one of the best players now in our squad, probably the best. The Brazilian 25.
It's going to be an hard challenge. Definitely an hard challenge to break into the top 4 to get into the Champions League.
Yeah.
But what else can I challenge you for? We've just won European Cup. We've just won an FA Cup. So what else can I challenge you?
Absolutely.
You know, I could easily determine and say stay in the Premier League, top half of the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's an easy challenge because you should do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a bit of a challenge. See if you can go for it. Get into the top 4.
Yeah.
Get in the
3 trophies we won technically because we obviously won the Sky Bet Championship. But I don't really count that because it's not a major trophy. Just winning the 2nd division, isn't it? But UEFA Conference League, FA Cup final. Rebuild complete in my eyes. See what you can do, Patreon members.
I'm going to bed tonight with the FA Cup.
Yeah, and I'll take the Europa Conference League. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much for watching, Patreon members. Let us know how you get on, of course, on the £5 tier if you want to take over this save game file. Patreon.com/Omega Loot Gaming. Leave a like if you can. If we get 1,000 likes, we haven't been hitting like targets recently, so if you are still around watching, let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes. Really do appreciate it.
Keep pushing up.
Keep your suggestions coming down, because we are putting them up on the Patreon polls. Next week, I've got a challenge that I'm not going to reveal what it is. It's not up for a Patreon poll, but I think you might like this one, Dad. So I'll see you then for the next rebuild. Bye-bye.